How's everyone doing today? Today we are going to talk about the actual real estate housing market and how it's going and what's going on. We have Alison Morando here from Remax Preferred, and she's going to give us a little insight on the market and how housing sales are going.
What we're seeing, basically, I've been working with a lot of buyers and they kind of went quiet, I feel like, over the summer. I've been in real estate for 5 years, so it hasn't been normal, I'd say, for like 2 years. Like when we started, when, there weren't so many offers. You had a couple of weeks to get to see the property and kind of vet the property. Now the good stuff is still selling, in my opinion. A lot of the move-in ready stuff or something that's been renovated recently, that has a lot of interest, I'd say. But one that we just got under contract, which I think is the first time I've seen this in the last 2 years since COVID, really, was seller concessions. So I got my buyers with accepted up to 3% seller concessions for their price point. So so they're very happy. And it made a big difference, I think, just in what they were able to afford with the rate change most recently. So I think that was it's about time to start asking for that again and try to get as much as you can from your sellers and work with the price point. Maybe it's not reducing the price, but giving a little bit towards those buyers buying their rate down or what have you. So
we're doing the 2-1 buy downs like we were talking about.
Yeah, so Kim's going to be working with them just kind of how much they can use, almost $10,000 towards their monthly payment. So
or lower their rate, however they want to use it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Do you think buyers are waiting a little bit, thinking that prices are going to drop?
The people that don't need to buy are definitely waiting, in my opinion. And so I think that for second homes or people that are still a few years maybe to come to Florida full time are going to wait to see what the market does and not buy with these rates being so high. But I do think that most of the buyers that need to be here or shifting jobs are still in the market, looking to get something done this year, actually. So there's still a little bit of time. Yeah.
I felt like when COVID hit, we saw a lot of people from the northern states relocate to Florida.
Yeah.
And now it's becoming winter. Winter in Florida is 87
It's just
degrees
starting
today.
to hit, right?
But is it still happening? Are the northerners still relocating to Florida like they were before?
Have you seen a slowdown in that trend?
A little bit in terms of what we saw would qualify kind of as the cash buyer pool. Like they were coming in from out of state, definitely. And a lot of New York money came into at least Pinellas at the time. But yeah, I'd say northerners are still going to retire to Florida. I think Florida still has that draw that people do want to live here, and it is still a dream of everybody to live in Florida, I think. And so most of my people are actually from Illinois. I don't know why, but I kind of have a little Illinois train coming to Florida. All my last clients have been from Illinois, so... But I'm from Boston, so I don't know. I don't know where all my Boston people are. Yeah.
How many months of inventory do you think we have right now?
Ooh, it's still low inventory in my understanding. I haven't checked the absorption this week, but I think we're still about a month to 45 days out for inventory, but that's so low. Yeah. Yep. And I'd say another thing that kind of shifted a little bit was the close time windows. So because some buyers are trying to lock some stuff down soon, they've been asking for a little bit of longer closing windows. I don't know if that's a trend or not, but that's just what I've seen.
The sellers are letting them go a little longer because they have to sell their house or find another house.
Yep. So there's a lot of moving and shaking, I think, happening and still will happen for the rest of this year. So.
I think it's interesting that the cash buyers have slowed down.
Thank goodness. I mean, not for you. I'm
Right.
sorry, but for us.
Cash buyers.
Because
No,
we
yeah.
were, it was, I felt like it was taking first time home buyers out of the market because all these cash buyers were coming in buying properties.
It
and-
was for a bit, and a lot of them sight unseen, and that's
Mm-hmm.
definitely slowed down a lot. And even sellers are requiring, because they lost a lot of contracts by accepting offers that were over cash,
unseen.
sight unseen, waiving inspections and all these things, and they didn't close. I'd love to see the numbers on what didn't close, but they said something like 18% of listings came back on the market in
Wow.
September.
That's a lot.
That's
Yeah,
huge.
that's humongous, and I felt that myself. I lost 3 deals in September alone, just not
I felt
closing.
it as a lender. People just walking away over something trivial on a home inspection. And it's
Yeah.
like buyers were getting cold feet.
So if they want to buy, should they wait until after the first of the year? Do you think that maybe the sellers will be lowering their prices at all?
That's an interesting question because I think that right now it is resetting a little bit where sellers are coming to grips with the change in rates and how they need to maybe refactor their sale prices
Sure.
to entertain more of a buyer pool. If they're not selling, that's probably the problem. They're listed too high and a lot of people's affordability got bumped out. But I think that our value is going to stay pretty steady. I think it will go down a little bit and stabilize more towards, a normal.
Appreciation.
Yes, rate.
7% to 10% instead of 23%.
Right. But I think at the beaches where our office is definitely, we're expecting a really busy season this year, and we're already starting to get some calls and some walk-ins in our office from Lee County. And so we just don't know if people are starting to maybe get some idea of their insurance money and kind of just where they're going to land. And St. Pete Beach is definitely an option for people that
Or leaving Fort Myers.
are leaving
Wow,
those beach
yeah.
areas. Yeah, so we
Interesting.
are expecting a pretty good season, I think, in the office in general, and that will take us through April next year. So
And we do have some loan products for those people too that have been
Misplaced.
displaced,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that they can get 100% financing for those.
And I've also put it out there on some of my listings just to get creative with some agents. I really, if anybody has a need to really get a buyer into something, I would call vacant listings, rentals, any type of thing, just to start talking to that agent or that seller about maybe you could do a loan, a lease to own, or a longer lead time to close, or something to get those buyers into the property, but then close on it later.
When their insurance money comes in.
Yeah.
I feel like as much as this current market condition that we're experiencing is painful. It's painful for real estate professionals, it's painful for mortgage professionals. But I think what it's done is it showed sellers, my understanding and my perspective from my realtor partners is a lot of the houses were grossly overpriced because people were paying overpriced. You don't hear that anymore. No one's
Right.
paying $100,000 over list price. I heard that the sellers were not willing to do anything, even to clean them,
Right.
declutter them, make some changes. Sellers were unwilling to make any enhancements to the properties. Now the properties are sitting for 90 days.
Yeah, so it's a wake up
Sellers,
call.
it
They're
is-
doing a little
yeah.
bit to the properties. They're even doing
Absolutely.
concessions to entice.
Yeah.
And we needed that. We needed more of a level market buyer sellers.
We
Absolutely.
really did. So the people that gave up, I don't want them to give up.
Right.
Because, they would say the houses that are, for sale or on the market, they're garbage. Sellers are unrealistic. Sellers are realistic, houses aren't garbage, and you're now getting seller concession if you couldn't save
It's
enough.
shifting
So
a little.
the people should still go back out there. And I really
Absolutely.
think property values will continue to go up in single digits attribution, not double digits.
I think that's the key. Yeah.
And so if
Yeah.
you're gonna buy now, or if you wanna wait 6 months, that house could be worth 40, 50,000 more next year. So I think we need to get the message out there that it's still a good time to buy.
And there's more opportunity now than there was in the previous 18 months. So get your realtor out there, get looking and get talking and negotiating with what you can get with your sellers.
And don't be afraid to ask for seller to pay closing costs, buyers.
Yeah,
for
at
sure.
least start with it, yeah, because they need it. The buyers need help right now, and I think the sellers, every agent should be talking to their sellers about that.
Amen.
That, so.
Yeah, well, we'll have Allison's information up on the screen, so if anyone wants to reach out to Allison,
Thanks.
yeah.
Where's my
Thanks for-
Boston people? Bring my Boston people down.
Well, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
And if you want to see any more of our episodes or watch this episode on YouTube, we are at Mortgage Chicks with Hot Tips.
And please follow us on Facebook at Mortgage Chicks with Hot Tips.
And if you have any questions about today's episodes or ideas for future episodes, please email us at mortgagechicks@vandykemortgage.com.